Hello and welcome to Oulu. Today we are going to fly the Black Square Turbine Duke to Ivalo, which is the northernmost airport in Finland, at least with an instrument approach. And we are going to use BeyondATC for our ATC and traffic injection. And with that said, let's hop into the airplane and start preparing it. Remember that this is still a 2020 airplane, so no outside elements are clickable. And with that, let's get rid of the wheel chokes, the pitot covers, and the engine covers. And I will connect ground power in a bit, but not just yet. Let's remove U2 so we can see better. And let's check our checklist. So, pre-flight inspection is complete as it cannot be done. Control locks are removed, seatbelts are secured, cabin door is latched, nose baggage door is not open, parking brake is set, landing gear lever is down, electrical switches are off, avionics switches as well, oxygen pressure is between 1550 and 1850. Circuit breakers are all in. Supplemental bleed air is off. Cabin pressure shut off. I think that's you. No. Shut-offs are closed. Okay, so they are pushed in. Alternate static air is normal. CO detector I will need to move closer to. Find the button. Oh, come on. Okay, seems to be working. Environmental mode off. Flaps are up. And power levers flight idle. I said propellers high RPM. Okay, back to where it was. Condition levels cut off. Trim is centered. And fuel selectors are on. So with that, let's turn on beacon and battery master on. Okay, we have 25 volts on battery 1, 25 volts on battery 2. Let's move it to both. And now that battery is on, let's have external power as well. Okay, we have 1284 pounds of fuel. According to SimBrief, we will use about half of it to get to Ivalo, so we will have plenty of extra. Okay, results were checked, and we are not going to start the engine just yet. And We are going to turn on avionics so we can enter our flight plan and get our ATIS and clearance. So we are flying to Echo Foxtrot India Victor. Echo Foxtrot India Victor. And our waypoints will be Nepix and Oslit. And we are going to use departure ASLOOP 5 Alpha. So ASLOOP 5 Alpha, runway 12 indeed. And also we are planning Lusag Free Bravo to runway 22. And while we are at it, I expect ILS 22, the normal one, and well, we are going to come from, let me just check, Lanru, but that will yeah, that doubles it, so let's try to get rid of you. Rukennuk Mulas Lanru. Now it looks like it should. So let's just check it on the map quickly. ASLOOP, Nepix, Oslit, Lusag, Rukam, Nukmo, Lanru Kutis. Okay, it looks good. Okay, flight plan is now in. So let's listen to ATIS on 13545 and then we go over to tower 1244. So 1244 and then 13545. No, 45.
0650 Zulu, wind 180 at 6, temperature 01, dew point -06, QNH 1024A. VFR conditions, landing and departing runway 12, transition level 050. Advise on initial contact, you have information, Charlie. Oulu Airport information, Charlie. 0650 Zulu. Wind 180 at 6.
And this we have already heard. Hey, there is no clearance delivery at Oulu, so we are going to ask for it from tower. Oulu Tower, good morning. Duke Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November information. Charlie on board request IFR to Ivalo.
Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November, Oulu Tower. Thanks for information, Charlie. Expect runway 12, ASLUB 5 Alpha departure. Initial climb to flight level 060, squawk 5323B.
ASLUB 5 Alpha departure, squawk 5323, Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November.
Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November. Read back correct. Call me back when ready for start of taxi.
Wilco, Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November.
Okay, so 6000 is set, 5323 is set. We were planning with runway 12 and with the ASLUB 5 Alpha departure. So far so good. And with that we can request for engine start. Oulu Tower, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, request engine start.
Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November. Startup approved. Call when ready for taxi.
Affirm engine start approved, Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November.
So 1024 is 3024. I went over a bit. Okay. And engine start is approved, so we can go on with our list. Left ignition auto, then on. It can be heard, it could be heard better if we open the window, but it's 1 degree outside, so it's quite chilly. Auto, then on. Wing pump and auxiliary pump checked. Right starter. Okay, so ignition is on. Let's wait for about 16 or 17. Let's add fuel. ITT below 1090. And it's rolling back. 52 starter off. And generator on. And since generator is now on,
All aircraft be advised, information Delta, now current QNH 1024.
that's the same. Okay. And load is below 60 amperes. Okay. Same procedure. Oh, come on. 12, 13, 16. Let's add fuel. Oh, and we should move throttles forward to get it out of beta. Okay, starter off, generator on. I don't see run-up area on the map, and I don't think BeyondATC can handle it very well. But we will do the run-up at the whole short, because right now we are basically in tailwind. Oulu Tower, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, request taxi to the active. Okay, let's try that again. Oulu Tower, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, request taxi to the runway.
Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November, runway 12 taxi via Tango Alpha.
Runway 12 taxi via Tango Alpha, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November.
Unfortunately, there's no way just to send the pushback guy off. So, seems to be clear, seems to be clear. Taxi lights on. Steering is definitely working. Brakes also checked. Pedals are set in a way that they should be, well, just the opposite how it works right now. So the first 80% should be very minimal, and only the last 20% should be the rest of the control, so to avoid oversteering. But somehow this plane is just ignoring it. parallel to the runway, like here. So we will have something of a headwind, although we'll see quite a lot of the windsock. Not ideal at all. So, parking brake is set, annunciators are as expected, remote compass is slaved, fuel selectors on, you can do it, crossfeed, wing pumps are on. Try to have something like 2000 RPM. Okay, throttle left, right. Let's move back. Left engine and forward right. And then exercise
Finnair 434, ready to copy IFR clearance to Vanda Airport. Finnair 434, Oulu Tower, expect runway 12, MiG 5 Alpha departure, initial climb to flight level 060, squawk 0520. Mach 5 Alpha departure, squawk 0520, Finnair 434A.
Generator.
Finnair 434, read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Just reverse.
Roger that, Finnair
left
434.
takes the load now. And back to
Finnair 434, gate 13, request pushback.
Oil doors.
Finnair 434, Oulu Tower, pushback and engine start approved. Face southwest.
Ice deflectors on.
Pushback approved, face southwest, Finnair 434.
Instrument there is in the green and no lights. Let's wait for the indicators about the oil door and the ice door. Oil door open, ice door open. Cockpit window is closed. We are currently at about 50, so that's about sea level. The cabin differential is 0, climb rate is at 10 o'clock. Let's move it back to -1000 and test it. Cabin is descending, releasing it gets it back to normal. We will be flying on 280, so let's set that. Cabin pressure more normal. Have the ice door indicators, propeller heat, left prop on, and prop heat ground test. Okay. Alright. Let's go veto heat on, windshield heat on.
Finnair 434, taxi for departure. Finnair 434, runway 12, taxi via Tango Alpha. Runway 12, taxi via Tango Alpha, Finnair 434.
Okay, let's leave to get back and then go for the one cycle, and in the meantime we can turn off these heatings. I will let the veto heat on. Fuel selectors on. Okay, electric exercised. To test the autopilot, let's move heading to where we are and then go autopilot on and move the heading to the left and to the right, and we should see it moving left. Okay, our runway 12 is 109er, so let's set you to come on, 109er and 109er and autopilot off. Too much, so flaps mid, flaps full, flaps mid. Okay, flight control channel. Rudder left, right, neutral, down, up, neutral, left, right, neutral. Altimeter is set 1024324. Departure altitude set, heading set, finalize. Where's the dim? Should be. Oh, there's the dim. Okay. Landing lights on. Air conditioning is a bit off. Let's close it to keep this 23 degrees. Sun Thunder is in altitude reporting mode. Radar should be... Oh, it's already on. Oopsie. Okay, let's go. Oulu Tower, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, ready for departure.
Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, Oulu Tower, wind 210 at 6, runway 12, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 12, cleared for takeoff. Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November.
Finnair 434, ready to go, runway 12.
Finnair 434 number 2 for departure, hold short of 12.
Affirm, hold short of 12 for traffic, Finnair 434.
Finnair 434, runway 12, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 12, Finnair 434.
Gears up. Flaps up. And autopilot on.
Finnair 434 Oulu Tower, wind 210 at 6, runway 12, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 12, cleared for takeoff, Finnair 434.
Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, contact Oulu departure 118.15.
Contact Oulu departure 118.15, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November.
Oulu departure, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, 2,700 feet, climbing flight level 060.
Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November. Oulu departure. Good day identified. Climb to flight level 140.
Climb to flight level 140, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November.
Definitely could use...
Oulu, Finnair 434, good day, 500 feet.
Finnair 434 Oulu departure. Good day. Identified. Climb to flight level 170.
Climb to flight level 170, Finnair 434.
And we can have heating back. Okay. So gears are up, flaps are up. Ice door will remain open for now. I think all doors can be closed. They don't seem to be too hot. Great. Let's slow down this crazy climb because the cabin will not be able to hold up with us. So let's go about 1500. That will be just right. Oh, that looks really pretty. However, we can definitely add a bit of torque because we do have the power, and in sim fuel does not cost that much at all. Let's see, about 1100 for the torque. And let's move back.
Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November. Contact Helsinki Control 123.85. Have a good day.
Center on 123.85, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November.
Helsinki Control, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, flight level 124, climbing 140.
Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November, Helsinki Control, radar contact, climb to flight level 280.
Climb to flight level 280, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November.
And 280 is our cruising altitude. We can pitch down a bit. To have the pressurization. And I like to have so our true airspeed is 200.
Finnair 1 Alpha Yankee, contact Helsinki Control 121.3. Have a good day.
Do we still
Contact Helsinki Control 121.3, Finnair 1 Alpha Yankee.
might turn the prop heat now? But we're still between clouds, so we'll need it back, and the ice door will stay on as well. If our true airspeed is 204 and our ground speed is 167, then we have quite a bit of headwind.
Helsinki Control, Finnair 434, crossing flight level 140 for flight level 170.
Finnair 434, Helsinki Control, radar contact, climb to flight level 350.
Climb to flight level 350, Finnair 434.
wind will climb to 12,000.
Transavia 737, contact Kusamo information approach 118.65.
Contact Kusamo information approach 118.65, Transavia 737.
And it's climbing almost 1,000 feet a minute. Something like 800 or 900. Okay, I think it will be good. It won't have overpressurization or too big a pressure difference. And I think we are flying into the second layer, so let's get you back. I'm a bit worried about it because we might not climb out of it. The radar altitude, 200 is the right amount. The runway will be 446, I think. 464 and 664 is the decision altitude, so it's the exact 200. 1099. Actually, I was wondering. radio to 1215. Not that BeyondATC is handling second radio, but we might just get a bit over it. But if not, it will be wonderful cloud surfing for us. Okay, cabin is at 12,000, but we are also close to our cruising altitude. We might be in and out of clouds. Check. Oh, we still have ignition.
Finnair 434, contact Helsinki Control 121.3.
Center on 121.3, Finnair 434.
So let's risk switching these off and we'll see if it was a good idea or not.
Finnair 1 for Juliet, contact Helsinki Control 121.3.
Contact Helsinki Control 121.3, Finnair 1 for Juliet.
Landing and departing runway 22. Transition level 050. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Romeo. Ivalo Airport information, Romeo. 0805 Zulu. Wind 245 at 14. Temperature -01. Dew point -10. QNH 1016. VFR conditions. Landing and departing runway 22. Transition level 050. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Romeo.
Helsinki Control, Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November, flight level 280.
Okay, so now we have an 80s, and I hope much difference will not be when we get there. Still about 40-ish miles from top of descent. Of course I will call for descent just a little bit sooner.
Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November, Helsinki Control, expect Lusak 3 Bravo, runway 22.
Expecting Lusak 3 Bravo to runway 22, Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November.
Mike November, Lusac 3 Bravo, runway 22. Report ready for descent.
Lusac 3 Bravo, arrival, runway 22, and we are ready for descent. Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November.
Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, descend to flight level 150.
Descend to flight level 150, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November.
Getting below this cloud. About 500 feet. So our goal is, well, roughly sea level. Really. That's about 500. Above flight level 100 at Lusac and 3,500 by Lomeru and max 240 speed. We will be well below 240 by then. The same.
245 at 14, temperature minus 01. Dew point minus 10, QNH 1016. EFOU conditions. Landing and departing runway 22. Transition level 050. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Romeo.
Okay, steer Romeo.
Helsinki Control, Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November. Good day, descending via Lusig Tree Bravo, flight level 228.
Beauty 9720, descend to flight level 130.
Descend to flight level 130, Beauty 9720.
That terrain over there. I hope it stays where it is, and we'll have descent line of sight. Should be above 10,000 at Busan. I think we can go a bit faster on the descent. Not need much, we have plenty of room back to lose the altitude. $1,500-ish should be nice. not flying into those yet. I will not add a national throttle, even if we are leveling up. I think it's time to slow down to about 200, maybe even a bit less.
Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, descend to 2,400 feet, QNH 1016.
Descend to 2,400 feet, QNH 1016, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November.
pitch. I really don't like that. Okay, 2400 by Q1H1016, and that 1016 is 29. Okay, let's go for 3000. Last check on the 80s.
QNH1015. VFR conditions. Landing and departing runway 22. Transition level 050. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Sierra?
Okay.
Ivalo Airport information, Sierra. 0836 Zulu. Wind 265 at 13. Temperature -00. Dew point -10. QNH 1015. VFR conditions. Landing and departing runway 22. Transition level 050. Advise on initial contact. You have information.
Helsinki Control, Hotel Alpha Tango, Mike November, descending via Lusag Tree Bravo, flight level 109er.
Now we have some returns on the weather radar too.
Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November QNH 1015, expect the ILS runway 22.
QNH 1015, expect the ILS runway 22, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November.
Okay, 1015. Landing taxi. There's not much of visibility over here, so let's turn on our lights. At least we can see the ground. So ignition auto, all doors are closed, ice deflectors are open, power lever is managed, ice protection is on, seat belts are secured, cabin altitude is now set for landing, and we will not have pressure problems. Fuel imbalance is 1, auxiliary 0 gallons. Recog lights are on, pitot heat is on for the whole flight, windshield heat is on for now. so is propeller heat. Luckily we are getting below the cloud base. I will keep anti-ice on for some more. We are still pretty close. We can slow decelerate. Thousand feet to go, and I think it's more than 3 minutes there, so let's slow even more. Back all the way, so 160 to 160. Okay, runway should be somewhere there. Still pretty much in the weather, and we are not even in the orange part. So I think it's time to lose some speed. RPM to max. turn off anti-ice measures right before landing, but we have found the rain by now. Okay, so final course will be 212.
Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, cleared direct Kutis, cross Kutis at or above 2,400 feet, cleared ILS runway 22.
Cleared direct Kutis, cross Kutis at or above 2,400 feet, cleared ILS runway 22, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November.
That's about 212. Let's move you also there. Although that will be handled by the ILS, so no worries. Nine is set. And we'll soon turn to final. When we do, I will arm the approach mode. And go over to from GPS to radio navigation. But first let's wait for the turn. Let's also slow down. Flaps 1, gears, and approach.
Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, contact Ivalo Tower 119.7.
Over to Tower 119.7, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November. Bye bye.
Ivalo Tower, Duke Hotel Alpha Tango Mike, November 2,400 feet, inbound the ILS runway 22.
Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, Ivalo Tower, wind 265 at 13, runway 22 cleared to land.
Runway 22 cleared to land, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November.
Okay, landing lights on, gears down, free green, let's go, flaps full. Let's try to hold about 107, 110 to 120. Selected on, fuel imbalance is 0, pitot heat is on, windshield heat should come off. Alright, prop heat off. Environmental off. Ignition is on auto. Flaps landing. Cabin differential is almost 0. Wing pumps are on. runway. And we have quite some crosswind from our right hand side. Is 3500. Let's set that. Try to land. I don't promise anything nice. We're a bit high.
Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, exit next available taxiway.
Exit next available taxiway, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November. Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, request taxi to allocated ramp.
Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November, ramp 11 taxi via Bravo Charlie.
Ramp 11 via Bravo Charlie, Hotel Alpha Tango Mike November.
Okay. Shutdown, parking brake is set, avionics off. Electrical switches on, generators. Okay, generators off. Stop. Let's feather the propellers. And then cut off. We're not going to cover them yet. They are pretty hot. So, welcome to Ivalo. I do hope you enjoyed the flight. Even if it wasn't the prettiest of landing, it was, I guess, survivable and not too scary. Thank you for joining me on this flight, and I do hope to see you on our next one. Until then, goodbye.